Episode 877, Disruption Has Become the New Normal.
It's time to train for life and love your journey. In this episode of Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, you'll learn new ways to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew your mind, body, and spirit. Please welcome your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Staring at a stop sign, watching people.
Are you ready for a spectacular week? It is a brand new start to a week. It is Mindset Monday, and I am so excited that you are here. We're going to be chatting about disruption has become the new normal and how it affects our mindsets, the decisions that we make, the direction that we go in our lives. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter, the Keep It Simple Strategy, Everyday Solutions to Live, Love, and Impact. Well, it has been a long start to the beginning of the week. Our weekend has been packed with heat, and that's more to come on that story. But we're going to be talking about disruption. Disruption in your schedule. How much of your schedule is filled with disruption? I really want you to think about that. During your day, when you got up this morning, how many interruptions did you have? Disruption has become the new normal. Between your Facebook feed, Instagram stories, and Pinterest recipes, disruption is your scheduler. Think about that statement. Disruption is your scheduler. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom, an entrepreneur, if you work out in the corporate world, it doesn't matter. Disruption has your attention. It becomes then your scheduler. Whatever grabs your eye, gets your attention. Even if you're watching YouTube or streaming your favorite shows, the advertisements steal your thoughts. They distract you. They pull you away. With the digital age here to stay, you need to begin to focus on things that cannot be automated. Because all of our world is very much automated. Think about it. As an online businesswoman, small business owner, I look at what I do on a daily basis, and a lot of my social media feeds can be automated, whether it's going to Twitter or feeding Facebook. When I post my YouTube videos, when it comes to just the podcast episodes, videos are up and coming. So you want to make sure you subscribe to our new YouTube channel, Create Your Now TV. The link is in the show notes. So make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss out. There's some really cool stuff up and coming, and I'm enlisting my children to help me too. So it's going to be full of fun and excitement. And what's better than free, right? It's my gift to you. So when you're looking at how our world is automated, the digital age, the technology, it's here to stay. We can't go back in time, even though I'm sure there are days that we wish we could. We wish we could go back to the simple. Why do you think I call it the K.I.S.S, the Keep It Simple Strategy, Everyday Solutions? We want to keep it simple, but sometimes we have complicated it so much that we forget there is simplicity in life. The world is changing so fast. Do you feel like you can't keep up with life anymore? You find yourself coming and going. The more we wander into the disruptions, the more you will feel pulled in multiple directions. No wonder you're overwhelmed. No wonder you're exhausted. You have no more energy to give what you need to give, where you need to give it. And how does this affect you and your mindset? It does affect it. Why? Because you're distracted again. And when you become distracted and your focus switches, you've got some major shift in your thoughts, in your mind, where you're headed. Because disruption has become the new normal, that means that you are living life on leftovers. That doesn't sound real good, does it? How many of y'all like really great leftovers? Maybe if you're a good cook, leftovers are awesome. But leftovers aren't so great when you're trying to live out your purpose. Leftovers aren't so great when you're trying to mother your children and parent them the way God wants you to. Leftovers aren't so great when it's the end of the day and you and your hubby are coming together, you and your wife are coming together, and all of a sudden it's like, I have no energy for you, I have no patience for you, I'm done with the day, I've had enough distractions today, enough disruptions, I'm finished. You're living life on leftovers. That's not what God intended you to be and how to live. He wants you to be present so you can be incredible, so you can be you, the you that He has created within you. Your purpose no longer matters, or at least it's no longer a priority. When you're eating leftovers, it may be great for mom. She doesn't have to cook in the kitchen. But with life, you don't want those leftovers. You want so much more. You don't realize what you have until it's gone. Well, this week, our air conditioner went on the fritz. It did. And no, we could not get service before the weekend. Ouch. And it's been the hottest weekend of the year so far. We have hit 98 degrees. Now, that's not inside temperature, that's outside temperature. We have really great windows and great insulation. But when there's not even a breeze outside, we can't even breathe on the inside. And so it's been a really tough weekend. And I share this with you because we decided what was going to be the priority to get through the weekend. We knew we weren't going to get any service until Monday would come around, today. And we're like, oh, how are we going to do this? Do we attempt to go and find a hotel room? Yeah, we could spare the expense, I guess, but we really don't want to. We have a home to live in. We like our home, and plus we have the animals, and so who would take care of them? Yes, maybe we could find a hotel that would allow pets, but it's difficult when you have kitty cats also. We had to prioritize what we really needed to accomplish with our goals and our commitments. What really mattered? And for you all, yeah, you were one that mattered. That's why I'm recording an extreme amount of heat right now. But you see, this air conditioning thing was a disruption into our life. But instead of making it our focus, we decided to say, you're not going to be a part of our scheduler. You're not going to have control. We're still going to get done what we need to get done. However, it may switch a few things up. And what it did was it allowed us to sideline all the disruptions that we normally have, that pull us away from what really matters. We had to use our cool moments to get to the main thing. Yeah, you want to use those cool moments to get the main things done and then make adjustments as the heat increases. Overall, it was spending time together without anything that created heat. You know what that meant? All of those electronic things, that create heat, they were turned off. The lights, the electronics, the TV, the gaming. Oh my goodness, the boys, they were like, Mom, but we want to game. I'm like, you don't need to game. You're just going to create more heat. We don't need that. I mean, TVs are great and all, but they still put out heat, especially if they're a bigger screen. There were no long-term hours in front of digital electronics. Mama had her baby's back and even the attention of her husband. Why is it that we are so consumed by disruption that we allow it to schedule our lives so all we get are the leftovers? How fair is that to you? What is pulling you away from living your greatness right now? Maybe you know what you want in life. You have a dream. You know your passion within you, the passion that God said, this is my gift and this is your talent and you need to go out and utilize it in this way. You may have it down to a science, but then you get all this other stuff that's called disruption. And all these disruptions are the distractions that lead you down what? Those huge rabbit holes that you don't want to get stuck into. And then what about your mindset? You wonder why you become overwhelmed. You wonder why you're so exhausted that you have no energy to give what you're truly passionate for. When you begin to run on empty like that for your passion, whoa, that's more than a red flag. What is pulling you away from living your greatness? The greatness God wants to give you. Where are you going? Are you just allowing yourself to fall into what the world decides for you, all these disruptions? I'm not saying anything bad about social media. I happen to love Facebook, and I enjoy Instagram and Pinterest and Twitter and all of those things that are out there. And I love to hear people's stories. You know that. My Strength is My Story. That's a series we have every Thursday where I talk to real men and women. And we get to the heart of who they are, what brought them to where they are. But then we have to ask the question, but where are you going? Do you have a direction? Or is your direction solely implemented only by the disruption because it's your new normal? Ultimately, you need to make a choice. You need to make a decision so you can make commitments to what you need to be doing. And here is your KISS, the Keep It Simple strategy. Make time for hang time. Make time for hang time. You're like, what? I know, sometimes I get a little bit crazy, but maybe it's because it's been so hot this weekend. And when I sit down to think about what is really a priority in life, I think about the hang time. There was nothing better for our family than turning off the electronics. I mean, yes, we did utilize our phone. Yes, I did have my laptop so I could make the recordings. However, I made them and was very concise and prioritize accordingly. So I would make sure that either I was recording and writing at a time that it was cool. We had the cool moment. So then I could hang out because it's no fun when you're sweating and recording. Trust me, been there, have been doing that. You can't live life on leftovers. So you got to make time for hang time. So what does that really mean? What have I discovered this weekend with the no air conditioner and the heat just excruciating on the outside of our four walls? Make time for hang time. Number one, you have to ask. Ask God where he wants to take you. Have you done that lately? Or are you letting the disruptions be your scheduler? Think about that. Be honest. I know I say it all the time. Be honest, be real, be authentic. Some people throw that around, but I like to get real. You know I do. I mean, let's peel back the onion. Let's see what it really smells like. I mean, I don't have my life all put together. And you know that. I spell it out for you. So when it comes to ask, are you asking God where he wants to take you? You got to pause long enough to listen. If you're allowing the disruptions in your life to come in and say, this is where you should be focused. Look at this Instagram story. It's so awesome. She's so hilarious. Have you watched this, YouTuber? And oh my goodness, this new technology that's coming out. Did you know that the I don't know what the acronym is, but they're going to be talking about the new, I think, iPad Pro possibly that's coming out. Now, don't quote me on this. I'm not the huge technology person, but I know enough to be dangerous, and I know enough that it's a disruption in my life. And if that's the direction I'm supposed to be headed, it's not a disruption. But what happens is if I am not supposed to be headed in that direction, I'm just living on leftovers. My purpose just has leftovers. That means God is barely getting my leftovers too. You can't live out your purpose with your gifts and talents that he's given you if you don't ask God where he wants to take you. So you want to make time for hang time. Number one, ask God where he wants to take you. Number two, seek. Seek the path. Don't let the disruptions control your schedule. Don't let them be the scheduler. I mean, I know Facebook is fun, but you know what? It's been the best weekend for me because I turned all my social media off. I was doing everything to make sure that we were staying as cool as we could. I was taking care of the cool moments to get what we needed to do as a family because all of us are home. Both kids who are in college are home. I mean, we have a packed house right now. And I love that. But it does complicate it somewhat. And when complication happens, mama's got to be a little more extra prepared. And this air conditioning thing was not a preparation moment that I wanted to add to my schedule. So I had to make sure, how was I going to cook things? How was I going to make things so we could eat dinner and lunch and breakfast without heating up the upstairs? How can I make it doable? Where are we going to sleep? How are we going to wash our clothes? And not, with the dryer still puts out heat. Yes, it's, vented out to the outside, but it's still what? It creates heat. That's the last thing we need in our house right now. So seek the path. Don't let the disruptions control your schedule. If you're asking God, first of all, where he wants to take you, then you need to seek that path. And yeah, that sometimes means trial and error. That doesn't mean you just sit on the sideline and say, okay, Lord, I am waiting for you to strike me with lightning. Because some of us, be honest, that's what we do. I'm waiting for that door to open. I know when it opens, I will see it. No, you won't. You won't see it unless if you are what? Taking aim. Action ignites motivation. It keeps you going. And God then can say, okay, you tried that door. That's not the door, so I'm closing that one. But look over here. This one's wide open. Walk through here because you know why? He sees that you're taking aim. And when you take aim, God smiles even more. Ask, seek. And number 3, find. Find your way, led by your why. I want you to really to digest that one. Find your way, led by your why. It's one step at a time that leads you to miles of greatness. Yes, you hear me say that a lot. But is that something that you really understand, that you comprehend? Have you brought that into your thought process? Your conscious, not just your unconscious or your subconscious, but your conscious, where you say, I have a choice here. I'm not going to let disruption become the new normal just because it has. I don't have to do what the world says I have to do. I need to lead by the example that God wants me to lead. I need to ask. I need to seek. I need to find. I need to find. Find your way, led by your why. When you are asking God and seeking the path, you're going to find your way because he's already revealed the why. One step at a time leads to miles of greatness. Maybe you need some help with this. Click on the link and take aim. When you click on that link, you are saying, I am in for a complimentary coaching call with you, Christiane. I want to see what it's like to work with a life coach because honestly, most people in this world have never worked with a life coach before. They don't even know the gift that they can receive from working with the life coach. This is a free gift to you from me, a complimentary call. Click on that link, fill out that form. It'll come to me, and we will set up a time to chat, you and me, specifically about your situation. You got to make time for hang time. What's really holding you back in life? What's pulling you away from living your greatness? Are you truly living life on leftovers? I know if it was my husband's way, he would never, ever want to have leftovers again. He would like to have a fresh meal. Not that I don't make leftovers seem fresh, okay? No judgment here. But what is it sometimes about our guys? Okay, I'm being honest here. Women, they like the fresh food all the time. They don't want to feel like I'm being sold short. But we do that to ourselves with our own purpose, living out what God has intended us to be. So where are you with that? What's pulling you away? Maybe what's already got you trapped. What is your thoughts tangling you up in? Ask, seek, and find. This is your chance to really gain a stronghold when you allow God to come into the picture. Don't run away from him. Ask, seek, and find. I promise you begin to do those, you're going to see a major shift in your life. I see it all the time. Do I waver sometimes? And am I always, on track 100%? Oh, no, I'm not. I'm human. I make mistakes. Sometimes I get really comfortable in what I think I'm supposed to be doing. And then God has to kind of shake me up a little bit. And he says, hello, Christiane. Sometimes he knocks me down so he can pick me back up again. He wants me to ask, seek, and find. He wants you to ask, seek, and find. He wants you to make time for hang time. What is really important? Because disruption has become the new normal. Are you ready to buy into that? Are you ready to let that go and say, you know what? I'm not in this. This is not my way. I'm choosing the path less chosen. I'm going to go and I'm going to be a little more daring. I'm going to live on the wild side, if you want to think of it that way. Because when you get right down to it, God lives on the wild side because he loves you so much. Unconditionally. No strings attached. So go out, live, love, and impact today. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, love, and lots and lots of hugs. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.